Hi, my name is Scott Henderson. I'm a recent hip replacement resurfacing patient. I had the Birmingham hip replacement, had that operation about a week ago, just over a week ago. That was on Thursday late afternoon. It is now Saturday morning here in the UK. So what I wanted to do is make a video which sort of charts my progress recovering from the operations. There's not a lot on YouTube or the internet that from a patient's perspective, so I want to make a quick video that sort of, from my own perspective, chronicle my recovery, because I'm aiming to get back into cycling and running. Obviously, to do that, I need to recover a lot more than I have at the moment. But equally, I wanted to sort of compare over time to make sure that I've got a record of that going forward. And obviously, if it's helpful for other people going through the same type of surgery, that would be great as well. It's also an excuse to play with some of the new toys that I've got. As you probably can see, I'm recording this from 4K on a couple of devices. I've got my trusty GoPro over there in the corner, and I'm using a new grey Leica d-Lux, which is a pretty nifty piece of kit from Germany, which I'm really, really pleased with. And also, sort of a bit of a nod to this is a Tascam voice recorder. It's the DR22WL, which allows you to connect via Wi-Fi as well as make the recordings. And the reason I'm using that is it's got a little bit of a better ability to record than using a traditional camera or GoPro speaker. So I'm going to quickly go through the exercises that I do. There's not a lot in there. There's only 3 exercises that I've been given that I can show on the video at this stage, and hopefully that will allow people to see how quickly you can recover from the operation, where I'm at in my personal recovery, and hopefully it'll be useful to people out there on the internet. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to do a few of the operations that I've been given. As you can see, slight bit of weight I put on from the lack of activity, really, the arthritic hip that I had was brought on. I used to race bikes, I used to do a lot of sport, and I was 8 stone 13 when I stopped racing, and I think I'm probably close to 13 stone 8. So hopefully I'll be able to get some of that weight through after the operation, after the healing. So I'm going to go through 3 operations here. The first one is a simple knee raise, and you do it on. It's very important you do it on both sides of here, because obviously stretching across the whole hip area helps obviously the recovery. And then I'll do a leg raise to the back, which obviously helps stretch down the front of the thigh, and then I will be doing a leg raise to the side, which stretches the groin out in a sort of a 90-degree angle. I'm not looking to either impress or whatever on this. Is just where I'm up to my personal recovery. So I was advised to do 5 when I started. It's now just into the beginning of week 2. I'll probably do 10 or so on each leg, and I'll talk obviously as the way you go through there. So the first one is the knee raise at the front. This the first one that you do tends to be a little bit stiff and sore, because this is the first exercise I've done this morning, and I'm actually out of my paracetamol and codeine at the moment, so it's a little bit tender there. But as you can see already, I've got a reasonable degree of movement. I'm almost up to a sort of a perpendicular position there. It does hurt. It hurts a little bit down the inside of the thigh here, and my scar is here. This is where, as you can probably see that a little bit there on the video. They went in through what's called a posterior cut there. So obviously, as I pull my leg up, it certainly pulls around here as the muscles are knitting back together. But it's key that it's so key that you keep these muscles moving. So I pull that up there. As you can see, there's a reasonable amount of movement. It's not particularly pleasant, but it's certainly something that I'm committed to do. I didn't possibly do as many recovery activities as I should have done with I snapped my Achilles. And as a result, my Achilles is not perfect at the moment, so I'm not certainly going to make that mistake again. So that's approximately about 10 there on that one. So that's probably not the most pleasant exercise. Here's the second one. Now, obviously, this is my non-operated knee. There's obviously good movement in there. There's not so much arthritis in that knee there. There's a little bit of pulling here, a little bit pulling down the outside, but basically not particularly painful at all, that one. Okay, so just go through to approximately 10 there. The more I do here, the more it starts to pull down this area again. Again, that's where the cut was made and where the tissue was obviously separated, and that's no surprise that hurts a little bit there. Okay, so the second one is a sort of a back movement that I've been advised to do. It's a simple move back there and hold a little bit. I'm probably not doing this particularly well, but you're supposed to keep as sort of vertical as you possibly can. So leave that out there and hold. 2, and what I've also seen on the internet, this wasn't the advice I was given at my hospital, but you can actually swing the leg through there. That's actually a little bit easier, but it's more driven by the fact that you've got the sort of the swing of the leg rather than having to make the movement and hold it yourself. I prefer to do this one really, even though it is more painful. Again, quite painful down here. This is where the titanium joint that I've got is actually fitted, and a little bit painful on the side, although not as much as with the knee raises. Interestingly, and I'm not certainly going to worry about this as I do this particular one, I feel a clunking in here. Now that's not a surprise. I've got a titanium joint and cup in there, so there's going to be a certain amount of clunking, at least at this stage. I believe that will reduce over time, simply because your muscles will knit around that, and obviously they will hold the new joint much more in place. So that's the right leg. Do the same with the left leg again. To say, you can either do it as a hold, you can either do it as a swing quite quickly, or equally swing right through. And what I have been doing actually is combining this with a knee lift at times, just to give a little bit more variety to the exercises. I'm doing these exercises about once about an hour if I possibly can. I returned to work after a week, which I was very pleased with. I'm very lucky that I can work from home. I was basically sat on a computer all day, and I was recovering. I was off work, sitting on a computer all day, and I thought, you know what, I can actually be back at work, and because I was getting a little bit bored. So I returned to work on the Thursday, which was the Thursday after, a week after when I actually had the operation. Okay, final exercise for now, which is out to the side. So I'll turn away from the camera. You may see some of the bruising down the back of my leg, which isn't particularly pleasant, but that's going over time. And this is just a simple lift out to the side and hold. And again, it's a repeat for 10. As you can see, before I had my hip operation, I had very little movement in that area at all. I probably couldn't get much further than there, and it was extremely painful to do. So already, despite the fact that there is some pain here and down again in the front of the groin area, that is a lot more movement already a week after the operation, and every day I get a little bit more movement on that and a little bit less discomfort. There's again a little bit of clunking that goes on from a sort of a new joint perspective, but again, as I said, I don't think that's anything necessarily to worry about. It's just while the muscles knit in. And then too many on this, because I'm sure it's not the most interesting watching somebody do very, very simple exercises. Do a few out there out to the left, which is obviously to compensate for the exercise you're doing on the right. That again, mainly this is where you get the pain. If you're going to have a posterior cut, this is where you'll feel the discomfort. This is where you found the struggle getting in and out of bed, in and out of chairs, because it's very invasive surgery. I mean, surgery lasts for probably about the best part of 3 to 4 hours, and obviously there's quite a lot goes on and quite a lot of sort of manoeuvrability that happens during the operation. I had a general anaesthetic, and clearly that's going to take some time to recover. So hope that was useful. If it wasn't, at least I've got a record for how I've been progressing. I will make another one of these potentially in a week or so's time to show how that I'm moving on there. But for now, thank you ever so much.